Ask me questions on
I
Super
might have
Chat.
to. I might have to lower the settings.
Ask me questions on Super Chat.
Let's see. Starting. Like it's going to space. Okay. Let's see. The computer seems like it's fast enough. That's good. 100 people watching. See? Okay, so I'll get some questions ready. Get up there to get ready to say hi.
Hi! It's a nice sunny day here in Florida, which makes me happy. I like to wake up to the sunshine, get out of bed, go outside of my homestead. Yay! It's a great day. See all my animals, get them all going. You can ask me questions through Super Chat. This is a new thing we're trying. Scott got me all set up. Okay, you gonna ask me a question that I can answer?
What we'll do is, this is our first ever live stream. Let's answer the questions from our last video.
Oh, good idea.
These are all the people saying stuff here. This is the not super chat. Everybody's saying hi.
Hi. It would be good if you could ask me a question.
Give me a second. This is our first time. I don't know what I'm doing.
He doesn't know what he's doing. I certainly don't know what I'm doing when it comes to electronics.
Larry Cooper asks, hi Becky, do my chickens need heat in the winter?
It depends where you live. Chickens will grow in a winter coat of down, just like my horses grow in extra fur, the dogs grow in extra fur. So I say for all my animals and any animal on the planet really, what they need is a shelter to get out of the wind and the rain. If they can get into a little cozy home, little cozy coop for the chickens, a hen house, I mean, I don't think you have to give them heat. I think they'll grow in enough down. The problem with birds is if they get frost on their feet, that's a problem. And then that damages them just like it would damage anybody. They'd get frostbite. So if you have, put sawdust maybe down on the coop floor, wood chips, hay, straw. And then if you want to make them really happy in the winter, get a bale of alfalfa, hay, and just open the bale and just put it in the hen house. And, it'll kind of be a mess. It'll smell wonderful, and those chickens will have nice green hay to eat in the winter, and they'll keep laying you some good eggs. So I say no, you don't need heat if you have a completely enclosed in hen house with bedding on the floor.
You could also get the heat light with the temperature controller on our favorites page.
I know, but for a hen house outside in the winter, what's that going to do? Raise the temperature 1 degree? One chicken's going to huddle under it? Well, what are the other 10 going to do? I just don't think they need it, though. They do grow in the down. The wind is the problem, and then their feet, not getting frost on their feet. Still needs ventilation, though, So anybody else that has any questions on Super Chat, then I'll answer those for you.
Until then, let's answer questions from our last video.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
So on our last video was getting our animals ready for vacation.
Which is a big deal.
Ethan asks...
Because I love my animals so much.
Ethan asks, I have 9 hens, no rooster, and I have a hen laying on all the eggs, not wanting to get up. What is happening?
Oh. Well, a hen, does not realize if her eggs are fertilized or not. And when she sees a big pile of eggs in there, she gets all broody, and she's like, oh, I'm going to go in there and sit on those and hatch them. So all you have to do is just move her off there and just get the eggs out of there. It's like no big deal. It's just let her be herself. She's going to keep doing it. As soon as she sees a few eggs in the nest, she's going to get back on there. And so, it's not a big deal. Just get the eggs out from under her and just keep going.
They could be really mean.
Yeah, sometimes they do get a little protective, especially an older hen. She'll kind of defend her nest, and you'll be like, move off there. But I found if I just pick them up by the tail feathers, but gently, just so you can like get a handle and just lift them up, you don't even have to lift them up very far, and they'll just run right out of the nest. That's the easy way to get them off there. But if you try to approach them by their head, they'll like peck you and try to defend themselves. So that's how I do it, because I'm a big wimp, and I don't want to get pecked by my hen.
Larry's the only super chat so far, but if anybody else wants to ask a question on super chat.
Yes, that'd be good. Okay, you have another question? I mean, my cabin here, my kitchen's kind of a mess because I'm tiling the floor, so my whole house is like scooted all around. And then I stubbed my toe, and I stubbed my toe so hard at night, my toenail's falling off. So I'm like, ow! I just have to try to get this tile done and get all my furniture back in its original place so I can memorize it. I can walk around in the pitch dark and not hurt myself.
On our last video, Terrell asks, what is a homestead extension?
I don't know what that is. A homestead extension is something with the county. I think that's a little
Isn't
county
that
department.
the gardening club
I
thing?
think it is. There's like a little department every county has one, I'm pretty sure. And I think they'll like test your soil there. If you bring your garden soil in there, they'll test it and they'll just give you advice. I think that's a good place to get advice if you are starting a homestead. They probably have information on different clubs, gardening clubs to take gardening classes and how to become a master gardener, and I think it's all stuff like that. If you have to get in contact with them. I never have personally. I always just do it myself.
Sam asks, hi Becky, do falcons and hawks bother your chickens? I'm scared to let my chickens out of their enclosure.
Well, they do bother some chickens. They don't bother my chickens, but I mean, they'll definitely get your chickens if they have a chance. They, they're looking for those chickens, and if they see easy pickings, they're going to go get them, and they're going to eat it. Everything likes to eat chickens, so stuff on the ground like raccoons, foxes, possums, those stuff are on the ground want to get the chickens. Owls, I find owls like to get them more than falcons and hawks. A hawk has to be a pretty big hawk. Like we have a lot of red tail around here. They're not really big enough to pick up a chicken. At least around here they're not. Another thing though you can do, which I love to do, is be crow friendly, because the crows scare off the hawks and the turkey buzzards. I think we have around here, but they only eat dead meat. They don't really go get a live chicken. They'll just eat a dead carcass they find around. So, but definitely you have to protect your chickens. That's why they invented chicken coops. Otherwise, the chickens wouldn't last very long.
Lady Gray says, Becky, you're looking fabulous. What are you doing for diet and exercise?
Well, I'm writing a little book right now to say how I'm doing this because, I see a lot of people like, boom, they're skinny, and I'm just like, how do they do that? And, I did a little reading, investigating, and everybody has a different body types, and there's 3 different body types. And I have the one, of course, that is the hardest to lose weight. So, but there's some positive characteristics in that body type as well. So I'm going to go more into detail in my little book I'm writing about that. So really, it's eating a healthy diet, though, and trying to raise as much of your food as you can yourself. And then eating organic food, if you can swing it, try to eat healthy organic food.
If you just eat home cooking.
Yeah, cook at home.
You're way ahead in the game.
I love to cook. So for me, it's easy to cook at home. It is a switch over, though. If you're used to eating out, and then you're like trying to switch over to eat at home, it is not easy because you're so convenient. You're just out and it's kind of fun and stop in and get a bite to eat somewhere. And then when you're at home, it's work to cook at home. I mean, you have to chop and stir and buy the groceries and carry them in the house and wash the dishes. And, it's a lot of work. So it's definitely a switchover that is, you have to get used to that. But once you do, oh my gosh, it's so much better. It's more delicious and healthier and all that, So I say eat at home. That's a big part of losing weight and looking better. Because even you see skinny people, but they don't look good. So, it's kind of a combination of things. You're going to be skinny and still be unhealthy and not look that good. Or, like skinny isn't necessarily healthy, but eating at home, good food that you cook gets you healthy, no matter what weight you are. Thank you, Robert. I see that you went on Super Chat. Thank you so much.
More questions. I'll just say thank you.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Larry did another Super Chat.
Thank you, Larry.
He says, thank you and Happy New Year. Keep the videos coming. Well, say thank you.
Thank you so much. I love doing my videos, to tell you the truth. I'm not really tech savvy at all. I just am like always buzzing around my homestead doing stuff, and it's really up to poor Scott to chase me around and try to get videos. And I feel like we're different speeds too. Like I'm like 2 speeds faster than Scott, so I'll get all excited about a project, and he'll want to capture it and see what I'm doing so we can show people. And I'm just like so excited to do it. It's like I almost have to wait until of course he's got to get ready. I'm like, nobody just carries around all the equipment on their back 24/7. So we manage though. We work it out and we manage to get the videos out. So I really like it. So I'm going to keep doing it. Scott, stop telling me what to say. You say it if you want to say something. Children, he's annoying. Ask me another question from another video.
Robert's Farm says, what happened to your brown dog with the pointed ears?
Oh, that was Woody. Woody was a cute little dog. Woody was adorable, very friendly, but Woody was a naughty boy and did not stay home. You could not turn your back on that dog for 2 seconds and boom, he would be gone down the neighborhood. And being the friendly dog he wasn't going down the neighborhood being naughty, getting into people's garbage and scaring people. No, he was going on their porch and eating their cat food and, doing that kind of naughty stuff. And I either had to keep him tied up or, when I went outside, I would let him loose and then I would just start doing something. I'd be busy and poof, I'd turn around and all I was saying is, where's Woody? Where's Woody? Always looking for that dog. So I found him a new home, which is a very, very nice young man has Woody. And I see him, of course, and I talk to him, and I'm always like, how's Woody doing? And it's so funny. Woody is so spoiled. Woody turned into Fifi, my little 4-pound Chihuahua. Woody sleeps on the bed in the bedroom of this young man. He really loves the dog. And if somebody comes into the room, the dog growls. Because then he starts wagging his tail. But he's protecting his little cozy corner over there. I think he's found his comfortable spot. And then he goes for walks. And he just lives the good life now. So he's all good. He's just not my farm dog anymore. And also he got a little chubbier too. Of course, he's a couch potato now.
If anybody wants to ask a question on Super Chat, we'll answer it. And to do a Super Chat, you click the $ in the chat box.
Where's that? I don't
It's right there.
Yeah. Who would ever know that? I would never know that.
Somebody says, what is it like having a guinea fowl? Are they different from chickens?
Oh my goodness, Bobby. I have to explain the name though first. I bought 2. I'm like, oh, I want a guinea hen. They're cute because I love birds. So I go to this farm and I just get these 2 little guinea hens, which were very wily when they're little. It's hard to catch them, and they're flighty and smart and strong. It's not like a little chickie baby where you just can hold it in your hand. You're like, oh, it's so cute. No, they're not like that at all. So anyway, I get 2, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to put them in this cage. And it looked like they couldn't fit through the cage. And I put one in there, and boom, there was a hole. It was out, and back in the woods behind me. And I was like, oof, probably never going to see that thing again. I was hoping if it's a baby, it's going to come back and like be hungry or something. Never saw it again. Like that thing, I'm sure something ate it out there, which probably took it a while to catch it. So then the other one, of course, I got it in a secure cage with no hole in it. So I put it next to the ducks because now it's by itself. I had these 2 little miniature ducks. It's living in there. And I'm like, it doesn't look like it's that happy. Like, it's not thriving. So I'm like, I think I'm going to try to put it in there with those ducks because they were little mini ducks. So I did. Worked out perfect, which seems weird. 2 little mini ducks and then a guinea baby. The mother duck loved the guinea hen. And she would kind of like get near it and like talk to it, and it would cuddle up to her, and I was like, oh, that worked perfect. The thing just like flourished after that. I had a mama, and it grew big fast, and pretty soon it had like its down was, the feathers were growing in, and it was the ugliest thing you ever saw. And it was bigger than the ducks at this point, but it was still acting like a baby to the duck. So Scott would come over, and he'd be like, that's a big, ugly baby. It's like we would just get a kick out of it because it was funny, but it was still working, even though she was still too big and all that. So then we just started calling it Bob for Big Ugly Baby. And then that's a dumb name. It's like, so I just started calling it Bubby. And we still have her, and she's like the queen of the farm, the funniest bird ever. She gets on the railing of my porch. Well, actually, she does to that window over there because she can see me in here through the window. And she will get on that rail of the porch and just cackle and call and call and call until I go outside. And I'm just like, what do you want? And she's just so funny. She just wants a little attention. And I'll give her a little tiny bit of cat food just to give her a little something. They're great animals, though.
She thinks she's like the manager of the farm.
Yeah,
if anybody gets riled up, Bubby starts cackling.
She'll chase them. If the dog gets going too much, she'll run over there and try to like break it up or whatever. She's just so funny. They're a great bird. They do eat a lot of bugs. Like they eat more bugs than a chicken does. And a chicken doesn't really eat ticks. I've never seen a chicken eat ticks. First of all, it's hard to see a tick on the ground. It's not like they're swarming around down there. But I do know the guineas do eat ticks, which always is a plus. I mean, if you're an outside person and you have things to do and, you're working outside in your homestead, of course, less ticks the better. So that's a plus. So anyway, I recommend them. They're a little noisy, though, because they have more force than a chicken. And when they start screaming and calling out, they're very loud, but whatever. When you're in the country, it's quiet. So hear a little guinea hen a little once in a while. It's fine. It doesn't hurt anything. I like it.
Claire asks, how big of an area are your horses in? Do you have to feed hay year-round, or do they get grass too?
Well, they're not in that big of an area because they don't really need that much room. They have to be healthy to where it's not dirty and the poop piles up. So, I don't know, what is it, like, the first pasture's maybe
It's at least an acre.
200 by 150, and then we have a middle one. I have 3. Then the middle one is a little bit smaller, so that's probably like 180 by 100. And the third one's probably the same. The horses don't run around too much in the pasture, and I do feed hay 24/7. And I just want to make this point clear is I have a donkey, a mule, and a mountain pony, which is a Hefflinger. Donkeys are desert animals, so there's no lush pasture in the desert. So the donkey doesn't need to be on green pasture. That's actually bad for him, and it's too much for him. A mule is half donkey, so it has that, donkey in it. So they're very easy keepers. They don't need to eat a lot of grain and rich pasture either. So a lot of people that do have pasture actually have to have a little dry lot that they can put the mules and the donkeys in so they don't eat too much grass. And then a Hefflinger, being a mountain pony, there's no lush pastures on the top of a mountain, so he doesn't need that either. So it depends what kind of animal you have to see, how much pasture they need. I had a... Scott tries to tell me what to say, and I can't hear him and talk at the same time because my brain is like... Anyway, it depends. I did have a horse that needed pasture, and my sister has it now in Kentucky, and it's on the bluegrass up there and doing well. So depends where you live and what you need and what kind of animal you have.
AZ asks, what kind of dog is Mario?
A Chihuahua. Him and Fifi are brother and sister. He's like 8 pounds or 10 pounds, and she's 4.5.
If you want to ask a question, just put it in the super chat, and we'll answer it.
How long are we going to do this? I've got stuff to do. That's the reason I'm asking. I like to talk to people, but I got a lot to do out there.
What breed is Charlie's mother?
I don't know that, actually. Because we bought him, he came from a walking horse farm. I do know that. So he could just be a non-gated walking horse mule, maybe. I know if you want to have good success breeding gated mules, it's good to have the gated jack. So maybe his mother was a walking horse and the jack wasn't. It was just a, regular donkey. That's what I'm thinking. But it's like purely a guess. But he's a good boy. I love my Charlie. Wait and get my mule saddle so I can.
Didn't we think Charlie was half draft donkey?
It's hard to tell. It's all a guess.
He's so stocky.
He is pretty thick for a mule, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he is. He's good though. I like him, whatever he is. My Charlie boy. He's snorty pants.
Somebody says, do they make mule saddles English?
Oh yeah, I don't think so. I've never seen one. What a mule saddle is it's mule bars. That's the tree of the saddle that they put all the leather on and they build it. That is changed a little differently for a mule, so it fits their skeleton, which is a donkey skeleton. So for an English saddle, I've never seen one. So I think it's just people just put a regular English saddle on them, and then just use a crupper to hold it so it doesn't slide forward and ride it. English is good, but I'm not that good of a rider because, I don't want to fall off if the animal does something because, I don't want to just go in circles in an arena. I like to go out on the trails. So anyway, I don't need a horn though, but I just don't. I need an endurance saddle like.
Somebody asked a question about our recipe. They said they're allergic to cinnamon.
Oh, isn't that funny?
So what could they use instead of cinnamon? Nothing, just leave it out.
Yeah, just leave it out. That's what I would do. Just leave it out. Okay, I think we should wind this up.
Are you done?
Yeah. Oh, it's fine. For the first time we ever tried it. So thank you for my super chat people that pushed the button. Larry and Robert, I appreciate that so much. And we'll do this again, I don't know, whenever Scott wants to. Once a week?
Whenever.
Just whenever we feel like it?
All the time.
Isn't it better to have a schedule, though? Like, I like schedules. Otherwise, how do you know?
Well, we could do it every Saturday.
Something like that. Okay. Sounds good. Maybe Saturday night. So I don't have to, stop doing stuff out there. Okay. So we'll see you again. Until next time.